Hi there! Welcome to the Sugar Do Studio. My name is Irene and today I'm going to tell you all about my WIP. WIP, work in progress. I have a lot of them. I think you have two kinds of quilters. Quilters who work on one thing, maybe two, and then finish it and pick out a new project and then work on that. I sometimes admire those kind of quilters, but I'm definitely in the other category, like having many projects that I work on at the same time, and when a new idea pops up, I think it's so hard to resist the urge to dive in and start that project as well. So I have a lot, but I think I kind of narrowed it down or selected the projects that I really want to stay working on, keep working on, and I got rid of or donated or tossed out projects that were more like experiments or that I really didn't feel like working on anymore. Sometimes that happens, and I think that it's also a good thing to let go and to focus on the things that you really enjoy to do, that bring you joy and that make you happy when you work on it. So these 18 projects are the ones that could stay. So I made a list. I went through all the projects that I could find in the studio and in the extra storage space. And yeah, this is it. So let's go through these 18 projects and show you what they are. I am going to start with the projects that are closest to being finished, and then we will move our way through the project that I just started. So here on top I have something that only needs the binding, and it only needs the hand stitching to the back of the binding, and that is the Ella Bella version of the Penguin Quilt Along. So this is a project, I think when this video comes up, goes up to YouTube, then we already started. This is the Penguin Parade Quilt Along that's going to start on the 4th of November. Yeah, so this one only needs a binding and then it's done. It was such a lovely project to make, and if you followed maybe the progress on Instagram, I shared there that I did grid quilting, and first I did a bigger grid and then wasn't completely satisfied, so I did a whole extra grid in between, so then it got these lovely small squares. And this is the detail on the back, by the way, so you can place a label in here, or it's just not an all plain backing. Yeah, so very happy with the quilting, and I only need to attach that sashing and then this work in progress will be done. Then I have something I'm kind of almost embarrassed to share. It's one of my 1 2 3 quilt along quilts that is, no, not the 1 2 3 quilt along quilts, the first Sugar Do Bernina quilt along quilt that I still have not finished. So in this one I started quilting all the rows, so it's basted and almost all the way quilted. A lovely project, but since it's such a big quilt, it still needs quite some quilting to do. So a lot of the rows are halfway or three-third, what is it called? 75% quilted, and then the last part of each row needs to be quilted. So yeah, still a lot of quilting to be done since it's such a big quilt. So I think I should just put this at my Q16, and then every time that I need a break from computer work or something like that, I just need to do like 15 minutes of quilting, which probably will turn into half an hour of quilting, and then this one will get done, but it's still not done, still not finished. So that one needs quilting and then a binding. Then I have other fun project, which I did share, but not a lot about it. And for this is the Let's Play quilt pattern. And for this one, I wanted to film how I'm quilting this. So I can show you on the back. I think that shows up the best. I'm not sure if it will show up, but there's all circles quilted. And yeah, that's a really fun design on the front as well, but that won't show because it's white thread. But I'm quilting this with a circle ruler, 2 circle rulers, and I want to film that, how I'm quilting it. Yeah, but I didn't get to that, so I just kind of put this project on pause, on hold, until I am ready to film this project. So also needs quilting and then a binding. And yeah, I think the pattern, it's this block is in the Let's Play pattern. I will put all the links of things I describe in the comments down below, description down below. But I think the video of the circle quilting will be a fun addition to that quilt pattern. Yeah, so want to film this. And then I have 2 more projects that are basted, and one of them is halfway quilted and one of them is not really quilted. And those are 2 of the 1, 2, 3 quilt long quilts. So the one version, it's my rainbow version, that's completely finished. But then I also have this pink version, which I also used to demonstrate some quilting on in videos. And I have this blue-green version that is already basted and a little bit quilted. So I quilted some of the outlines of the trees. Yeah, but I also want to finish these 2 quilts because I really like them, and it's such a nice memory to have on this quilt along that we did last year. Oh no, well, last year, finished beginning of this year. Yeah, so these 2 are not finished, so I only have 1 completed 1, 2, 3 quilt along quilt. Yeah, so these 2 should also just go on a pile at my Q16 and have some quilting fun with that. Yeah, so basted, not quilted, and this one basted, partly quilted, and yeah, just want to finish this, so it's definitely staying up on my work in progress list. So those were the first, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quilts on my list. 5 quilts? Yes. So then moving on to project number 6. I think this pile is the next in line of how finished they are. These quilts are just basted, so no quilting done at all. Oh well, and actually not even basted. So I picked out the backing and the batting, but I haven't basted them. This one is a special one. It's a round robin quilt that we did with the group of quilting friends with which we go on a quilting retreat each year. And it all started out with a little embroidered name tag. And then you had to make 1 block around your name, and then everybody added something to it. So this is mine. Such a happy, colorful quilt. And this is the backing that I picked, a double wide backing by Tula Pink. I thought that happy, bright colors, it would be nice to match that at the back as well. So yeah, this is ready to be basted. So that's the status of this pile. So this is quilt work in progress number 6. There we go. Then I have something, I think I also shared this in the previous video about work in progresses. I did that December last year. And now this quilt top is done. I have no clue if it already was done the last time I filmed, but this is the quilt top is done. It's finished. This is a project that I started years and years ago, and then just put away in a box and never worked on it again. And last December, when I went through everything, I found a lot of projects that I did want to finish. This was one of them. So the quilt top is done. I picked a nice pink backing and batting is cut, so this can also be basted, and then it's ready to be quilted. It's not a too big quilt, a nice lap size quilt, I think. So the quilting also should not be take that long. Maybe a nice straight line quilting or something like that. So that is a WIP number 7. Then I have a mini quilt over here. These are arrows of the Follow Me pattern. A fun pattern where you get these arrow blocks in multiple sizes, and they are foundation paper piecing. A pretty easy block to do if you're new to foundation paper piecing. Yeah, I would say it's a very beginner block. And put a nice orange Tula Pink backing on there, and just needs to be quilted. I think this one would be fun with some ruler work, but well, have to get started on that, and it first needs to be basted before it can be quilted. But a fun little mini quilt. WIP number 8. Then I have 4 projects rolled up in here, which I can't show, but they are work in progresses. So 2 of them are for my new book coming out next year, finishing up these projects, and they will also end up in a book. And 2 projects for something really fun that's also coming next year, but can't show you yet. So these are 4 work in progresses that will put this pile on 12 work in progresses. So then there should be 6 left here, or did I lose count? No, there are 6. 5 boxes and 1 project. So these are the ones that are not as far as those. So that is this whole pile. Oops, this whole pile is a pile that needs to be quilted. So I have a lot of quilting to do. And this box is in the beginning stages. Let's see, here I have a little quilt. It was just a experimental kind of project that I did. But I found it and thought, well, this could make, with the right backing, it could maybe make a cute tiny baby quilt. So I'm going to finish that and donate to Droomdekentjes, dream blankets. I think I mentioned that before. Organization in the Netherlands that makes quilts for children who are ill, or brothers and sisters of very ill children. Is ill the right word? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, so I'm going to finish that up to make it into a little baby blanket. I have a very cute flannel backing for this with little bears and stars, so then it will be a little bit more baby-y with the modern top. Then what is next in line? That top is finished. I think this one. So that would be number 13. Then here we have WIP number 14. And this is a fun one. It is a quilt that I started before Ella was born, and then I did not finish it and thought, well, maybe I can finish it before she turns 1. She's 1.5 years old now. Still haven't finished it, but I'm getting there. So the giraffes and her name are in place, and now what needs to be done is put some more background fabric at the top, and then I want to add a border. Since she grew a lot, of course I also want to make the quilt bigger now, not just baby size anymore. So there's going to be a nice big border around this, probably also including the gold colors from the giraffes. Yeah, so really love how this turned out. Really like it, and once this is all finished, I will also work this out as a pattern with the cute giraffes. Yeah, so this is a top that is kind of on its way to being finished, but not really finished yet. So with number 14. Then I think these are all in kind of the similar stage. This one I started last. So I guess maybe I'll share this one. This is a project that I'm doing with my mom, and we're doing a round robin together. So we both got a fabric bundle, the same fabric bundle, and making a quilt. So this is a fabric bundle that we're working with, and we started out with a block, and now we are adding blocks or strips or sashing or borders to it, and the idea is that everything we add needs to be a multiple of 3, so 3 by 3 inches or 12 by 6 inches or 9 by 9. So you don't have to really add to it right away. You can also make a block like I'm doing now, making this, and then it's up to my mom to add it right away with something she adds to it. So this could go here, for example, and then she could add something here or down there below. Yeah, that's the idea. So you don't need to add something very big to it right away. Otherwise, when you swap it, it gets bigger and bigger every time you need to make something around it. So we just add something to it, and yeah, so every swap you will get your own starter block back. So this was my mom's starter block, and she's working on mine now. So this is a work in progress that's not being finished anytime soon. We're not going very fast with it, but if you like it, just let me know in the comments down below, then I can give you a little update when we are a little bit further along. So that will be WIP number, oh, I did lose count. I had 18 in total, 17, 16, 15, WIP number 15. Then this one is a hand quilting project that I'm doing, and I think, well, look, I know for sure that it's going to take a long time before this one will be finished, but that's also not really the goal, to finish it fast. It's just a lovely project to be stitching on every now and then. So I am working with the color palette from my book. These are not all the colors, but yeah, there are just a lot of happy colors, and then adding in, this got a little messy, low volume white and gray fabrics. So that's the color combination for this one. And let's see if I can show you some blocks. Yes, I have quite a lot of blocks finished already. So this is a pile of blocks that are finished. And each block starts with a colored center, and then one side will be color and one side will be low volume. And it's with the monk's block technique. It's very fun one. You can Google it, or I will leave a link down below to the tutorial that I followed. And it gives a lovely structure to your blocks. And it's actually done as it is. So you kind of make each block into a mini quilt, and that you need to assemble after you're done. And how I'm going to assemble them, not completely sure. I need to do some experimenting on that. But for these, I finished quite a lot of blocks already. Yeah, and it's just going to be a very colorful quilt, I think. And my idea was to just sketch up some half square triangle layouts. Maybe I can put some over here so you can see. Yeah, and then there are so many options that you could do with this design. So yeah, lots of color and happiness. Whoa, I really made quite a lot of blocks, but in the beginning I did some calculation, and if I want to make a quilt for on our bed, I should make 100 blocks. No clue how many I already made, but maybe 20, something like that. So I still have a long way to go, but it's a very fun project. So this is also not going to be finished anytime soon. Yeah, so yeah, that's that one. WIP number 16. And then I have 2 left. This one is a little bit like the mini quilt that I showed you, the red and orange one. I thought it would be fun to make the bigger blocks as well into a rainbow quilt with gray backing, because then the rainbow really pops. So I have been making arrow blocks for that. Quite a lot already. Didn't remember that I had so much done. Yeah, so but also still quite a lot to do, I think, to make this into a big quilt. Yeah, so that's the box over here. That's WIP number 17. And this is freezer paper that's also in my box. So these are the patterns, and I just have a bunch of them which I can reuse, because each block is exactly the same. So when you draw it up on freezer paper, then you can use it. Then when the block is done, you trim it, that it has the correct size, and then you remove the freezer paper and you can reuse it. So that's awesome when you're making such a big quilt with the same block over and over again. Freezer paper really is my friend for that. So a fun one. And it needs some cutting, the other fabrics, and some piecing. So WIP number 17. And then the final one, this is the most recent work in progress that I added, and that is because I bought a Tula Pink fat quarter bundle. Yeah, very fun one. I thought I could pick it up and show it to you, but I already cut a lot of the fabrics, so it's a little messy. It is this one. Ooh, yeah. So I will put the name of the collection in the screen. I think it was something with dream. Yeah, a lovely fat quarter bundle, and I really like working with this one because I love the colors, but the prints are quite big for my normal taste in fabric. So I work a lot with solids and with tiny prints, so they work out on small foundation paper piecing patterns very well. But I just really like this fabric and the bundle, so I bought it, and now I'm turning it into a quilt. So I am using the Let's Play pattern, the ones with the little children that I'm quilting. I'm turning it into happy, bright Tula Pink blocks. Let me see. There's a project over here already. I'll just put it here. So I think this pattern really shows really shows the patterns in the fabric and the colors, because you have quite a large area in the center. And then when you make it like this, you will kind of have those windmills in the center in different colors. Yeah, so quite happy with the design to go with this fabric bundle. I just made a few blocks. I have 5 blocks done and a lot of them to go. I've added in white to make it a little bit easier on the eyes, and so that I could put all the prints together and still have a little bit of white to make it a bit more organized. Yeah, so a fun project. Just started working on this, so I don't think this has a lot of priority. Whoops, my camera stopped filming. I think it was saying probably, what was it saying? Yeah, probably won't get a lot of priority, so I will put this just somewhere on the shelves, and when this big pile is a little bit finished, more finished, then I will move on to working on this one. Yeah, and the reason why I then started this one instead of just leaving it as a fat quarter bundle and picking up a new project when something is done, when I take home a fat quarter bundle like that or get an idea, then I want to just try it and see how it goes. So I started out making these small blocks. Those are blocks from the City Sampler book by Tula Pink. That sounded like a fun idea, but when I would go through with this project, it would mean that I would need to pick out a new pattern from the book for each block that I would be making. So then it would be quite a long project, I think. And with this I could just make the same block over and over, and that would be a easier quilt to add to all of this. Yeah, so a little bit less elaborate project. But yeah, so again, when I have a fat quarter bundle like that, I just want to dive in and can't help myself from experimenting a little bit and thinking out what do I want to make with it and trying it out, and then, well, coming to an idea. And once I got these 5 blocks done, I felt, yes, I like this. This is good. Now I can put it on hold and I know what I'm going to make with it. Then I can continue when I have more time. Yeah, kind of a little peek inside my thought process. And a little bit the reason why I have so many work in progress is, well, it feels like a lot. I can really clarify each of them and, well, justify each of them why they are here, but it's a lot, and it feels so good to now have a list. I made a list and I can cross out what stage it's in and how far along I am with the quilt, and it really gives me so much peace of mind that it's on my list, and when I want to do something I can check the list. Do I want to quilt? Do I want to piece? Do I want to bind? And then pick a project and work on that. It's really so nice. It was a kind of it was chaotic to have all those projects lying around and not knowing the stage or knowing if I would want to finish or if it should go. So yeah, these 18 can stay, and I think it's fun to do maybe every once in a while, maybe half a year from now, another update on how it's going with the WIPs. And I'm also curious, how many WIPs do you have lying around? Do you track them, or do you just start on something new after you finish it? I'm very curious. So let me know in the comments down below how you work on this, and thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye!